Has Enid ever been like this?
Yeah.
It's been so long. The last one. Do what it's on.
All right. Let's call the meeting to order. We're all present. So, the invocation this evening will be given by Howard Dank. Flag salute. Going to put you to work one more time. Colonel Cunningham, would you lead us in the flag salute? Howard Dank, thank you for being here. You may use the mic and...
Shall we pray? Father, thank you. First, foremost, always, thank you for allowing us to be part of your family. Father, thank you, too, for allowing us to be part of Enid and to be here to conduct the city businesses. Father, thank you for these men and women who have given themselves time and talents and energy to serve you and our city. And Father, we would pray for each one here tonight. Pray that you would give them the wisdom and insight and understanding that they need, the wisdom of Solomon, to know what to do. Also for the patience of Job, to be patient with one another, and the forbearance and love of Barnabas, that they might be patient and understanding with one another, and the boldness of Paul to share what you fill them with your wisdom and understanding, that they might serve you in this city and the various things that are coming up tonight properly and well. So, Father, again, we just thank you and praise you and give all of this and ourselves in this time to your purposes and your glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Okay, if you'd please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 4, consider approval of the minutes of the regular commission meeting of July 6, 2017.
Move to approve.
Motion by Ben,
Second.
second by Derwin. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Under item 5, awards, presentations, proclamations, and organizational business. Item 5.1, present the pet available for adoption at the city animal shelter.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Charlotte Ringwald with Enid Animal Control. I'm the adoption coordinator there. And tonight, I have my little friend here. This is Amidala. She's got 3 other little sisters, Padme, Amidala, Leia, and Ray. And they're all looking for a new home. They're all about 2 months old. They're all female, and they're long hair. Oh, I know. Domestic long hair. And they also have their mom there. And we have lots of cats and dogs available. And courtesy of VIP Pet Care, now with every cat adoption, you get a little carrier. So come out and visit us and spread the word. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charlotte.
Hanging on. Item 5.2, we have some recognitions from the July the 4th celebration. Gerald?
Mr. Gilbert, Mayor and Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here this evening. Mayor's on his way. And you let the kitten go away? Yeah. We have the opportunity this evening to, as you know, anything that's fun in the community, it takes a lot of individuals behind the scenes to make an event work, and the 4th of July celebration is one of those events. And City Manager Jarrett Gilbert and Mayor Shuey asked me to put together this little proclamation on their behalf to recognize everyone. Are we okay on the sound? Let's see, Doug Parker, excuse me, I'm looking at my notes, Bud Smith. Are you amongst the crowd this evening?
Yeah, as he reads off the names, please come up if you would.
Yeah. Merle Cordray from Lowe's that I spoke to earlier today. Merle, are you here? Hello, Merle. Come on down. Merle reminded me he was born and raised in Enid. Is that correct? Yes, sir. And then you've been East Coast or something, but you came home. So, yes, Merle, thank you for coming back. So see him at Lowe's, and you can pay me later. Okay. Jerry Coleman from Into the Blue Dive Shop. I talked to Jerry early this week. He had a meeting in Stillwater, but he said, Steve, I will get away, shorts and all, and I will be here for the presentation. Jerry, welcome. Enid Symphony we want to recognize this evening. Doug Newell told me he was going to be out of town. Matter of fact, he was going to be on vacation, I think cooler air in Colorado. But David Hume, is that correct? David was going to be here on his behalf. And then H&H Bait, we had Linda James. Is Linda? Jesse James was the other name on the list. Is Jesse here? And then Paul Baker, Emmerich's Van and Storage. Is Paul here this evening? Okay. And this is the proclamation that has been presented for this evening. And again, you know, there's just so many individuals. I'm sure City Manager Gerald Gilbert will address this. So many people to thank. Whereas the annual 4th of July celebration held at Meadowlake Park is made possible due to the unsung efforts of many community leaders and business partners within the Enid community. Whereas the event consists of a fishing derby, prizes for the 6 largest catfish, games for kids at the Children's Festival, a concert entitled Generations Free, presented by the Enid Symphony Orchestra, and the ever-popular fireworks show choreographed to music by the orchestra. Whereas the City of Enid, the leadership desires to recognize the many individuals and organizations that work diligently behind the scenes to make the 4th of July celebration an event the whole family can enjoy. And whereas Liberty Federal Savings Bank, H&H Bait, Emmerich's Van and Storage, the Enid Symphony Orchestra, Lowe's Home Improvement, Into the Blue Dive Shop, the Enid Police Department, the Meadowlake Golf Staff, and the City of Enid Parks Department contributed significantly to the Independence Day celebration at Meadowlake Park. Now therefore be it resolved that Mayor Bill Shuey, Mayor of the City of Enid, and fellow members of the Enid City Council hereby recognize, and we list on independent proclamations, Liberty Federal Savings Bank for their contributing role to the 35th annual 4th of July celebration in the Enid community. And everybody would have their appropriate names on your proclamations, and we want to say congratulations. Thank you.
I just wanted to follow up and say a few words. I appreciate so much the support of the community and these particular businesses and leaders in putting on that and helping us put on that event and doing the things they do. I think it made for a wonderful celebration. I appreciate it. We wanted to recognize them. So the folks that weren't able to come tonight, we'll reach out to them. I also want to make mention, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the City of Enid Parks Department, who did a wonderful job in preparing the park, and certainly Michael Leake at the golf course and what they did, putting together and ensuring that the golf course was a great experience for golfers out there, and it was also the site where the fireworks are fired off. So thanks to everybody. It made for a great event. Do you guys have anything you'd like to say? I'm good.
And at this time, speaking of golf, we need to recognize some individuals that get to play a lot more golf than I do. So we want to say congratulations to the Meadowlake golf team because they won recently the Enid Ryder Cup.
And go ahead and come on up.
Yeah,
go ahead and come
all
on
the
up,
gentlemen
guys.
would come forward.
This is the championship-winning municipal Meadowlake Ryder Cup champions.
Don't worry if you're in the witness protection program. All right? You know golfers, you know. I'm sorry. Thank you for being here, gentlemen. Congratulations. Keep smiling. You're on candid camera, as they say. Now, Michael, come over this way. Push them all around this way. But we want to get all the best camera angles of everybody. So, again, gentlemen, thank you for being here. The city manager asked for me to come up with this accommodation for you, and so here we go. The Meadowlake golf team celebrated another victory with the Enid Ryder Cup win over the local rival Oakwood on July 9th of 2017. This year, the Meadowlake golf team won the event by a score of 19 3/4 points to 16 1/4 points for Oakwood Country Club. The local event was started in 1991, and the Meadowlake team holds the series lead at 16 8-1. Impressive. Meadowlake has won the Enid Ryder Cup each year since 2011. Each club takes their top 12 golfers and plays matches at both courses, similar to the United States and Europe Ryder Cup event. Team members for the Meadowlake team include, and please forgive me on some of the names, but it looks like Neil Oxford, Rod Billings, Josh Winfield, Troy Rasp, J.J. Fournier, I'm sorry. J.J., we'll go just J.J. Brandon Beckett, Jay Betchen, Danny Guara, David Turner, Ashton Armstrong's on the team, John Klein, Calvin Carr, Eric Williamson. The captains were Bill Heiser, David Lawrence, Tim Winfield, Steve Darnold, and Michael Leake. As Gerald was saying, he commends both teams for their sportsmanship, camaraderie, and dedication to friendly competition in the Enid community. Their personalized commitment to excellence reflects the character of our great community. Therefore, it is with great honor that he presents this letter of commendation to the Meadowlake Golf Team 2017, and your document is signed by the city manager. Congratulations, gentlemen.
I wanted to give that to Troy. Troy, I think you were the team captain, right? And I just want to say a few words before Troy and the rest of the team probably wants to talk. I greatly appreciate the support of the City Commission with the golf course. I think so does this team up here. This team, I'm sure they spent a lot of time practicing on our golf course, and they're the best ones in town. So I think I told them that I'd be glad. I don't want this to be considered as talking trash, but I would be glad to talk about how great they are because they'll back it up for me. And they did this year, and they've done it for about 7 times in a row. So Troy, you want to talk a little trash yourself?
I don't have a whole lot to say. Yeah, anybody wants to talk. We're happy to be here. We appreciate the recognition. It's a good time every year. You know, friends. We all know everybody, and it's just a good time and good camaraderie.
All right, guys. Anybody else? Here's a great opportunity. Well, I have something for you before you leave. I don't want to send you away empty-handed. Got a coin for you. All right. And I'm sure Michael will make this worth something at the snack bar. That's the only place you could use it if you don't decide to keep it. It's a new ball marker. All right, thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
You have any more?
No, sir, that's it.
I have one.
You have one? Okay.
Colonel Cunningham.
Uh-oh. Let me get out of the way for this one.
Colonel Cunningham is a Vice Wing Commander, Advanced Air Force Base. His next assignment is
I'm going to Randolph Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas to be the Inspector General.
when?
I leave next Friday.
That's what I thought. He's been very diligent about attending city council meetings. He has had to sub for Colonel Judy. He gets called all over the country. He's been very good about attending. He's been good for Enid. He's been good for Vance Air Force Base. We will miss you, but we understand the Air Force way. Here for 2 years and then move on.
That's right.
And then I think he's going to retire, maybe in Oklahoma.
Yes, sir.
So
That's the plan. That's the plan.
Later
No
after the
That's right.
assignment in San Antonio. I have a coin for you.
Mayor, thank you.
Thank you for all you do
Appreciate
for
it.
our country.
Thank you.
You're an asset to the Air Force.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I won't talk long. Thank you, Mayor and City Commissioners. I tell you, I came here and I had heard great things about Enid, but it's really bittersweet to leave. I've really felt a part of this community. I love Vance Air Force Base. I love Enid, and this will always have a very special place for me for as long as I live. I think, as the mayor said, we're looking to probably retire down in Tulsa, but it's just a 2-hour drive right down 412, and I can assure you that you'll be seeing me again. I do want to thank the community, everyone here in this room. It's packed tonight, and everyone who may be watching on TV, and just say thank you for all of your support of Vance Air Force Base. We are a part of this community, and we thank you for embracing us, for supporting our mission and everything we do to help defend our nation. So thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
And with hobbies.
I got timed out. Item 6, hearings. Item 6.1, there are none. Item 7, community development. Item 7.1, there are none. Item 8, administration. Item 8.1, consider a resolution amending the 2017-2018 budget by appropriating additional funds in the amount of $18,825,753.51 to increase the 2017-2018 appropriated amounts for the prior year encumbrances outstanding as of June 30, 2017 for the city of Enid, Oklahoma. Aaron?
Yes, Mayor, Commissioners, Mr. Gilbert. This is an annual item that we bring forward to you every July. The encumbrances that we have at the end of the year, which are contracts that have been awarded that are not completed, lapse as of June 30, and to re-enter back into those contracts and have budget funds available to complete those contracts, we need to reappropriate money. The money's closed out to fund balances of those particular funds as of June 30, so they're re-available to appropriate from for the new year. Included in this $18.8 million is 116 POs. Just under 12 million of that is the Garver contract alone. So there are multiple in-progress construction and goods that have been ordered and not received, basically, is what makes all of this up.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Ron, second by George. Further discussion? Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Item 8.2, consider a resolution increasing the City of Enid's 2017-2018 sanitary sewer capital improvement fund budget by appropriating additional funds in the amount of $234,615 for update to the sanitary sewer master plan, project number S-1706.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Ron, second by Jonathan. Further discussion? Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Item 8.3, award an agriculture lease at the Enid Woodring Regional Airport to Jacob Mack.
All right, Mayor, Commissioners, Mr. Gilbert, as you may know, we have a 525-acre ag lease out at the airport for extra revenue. In the past, we've leased it out on the 1/3 crop share. This time around, we're actually doing cash rent per acre. It should be easier come budget time. We actually know how much we're going to make. We're not worried about wheat price or rain. We had one bid from Mr. Jacob Mack. It was responsive. He bid $52.50 an acre, comes out to just a little over $27,500 a year. That is actually over average of what we've averaged the last 6 years. So we ask you to approve the bid.
Move to approve.
Second. Motion by Ben and second by George.
I may be the only one, but I'm not familiar with this gentleman.
My name's Caleb Arthur. I'm the operations manager out at the airport.
Okay.
He's doing all
Have you been with us long?
Since 2014.
Dan Onosorge normally comes to meetings. He was unavailable, but
Yeah.
Caleb is apparently a well-kept secret. He's doing a great job out there.
Was from me anyway.
He's among other things, he's a pilot and he's a farmer himself, so he understands. And just so you'll know, the city of Enid is getting $27,000 a year from this lease, right? So what a great source of income. Thank you.
Put away your shovel, Ron. Gotta quit digging.
Is it automatically renewable for 5 years?
Yes, it's
At
a
that
one-year
price?
term with 4-year options.
Pardon me?
1-year term and then 4 options after that. 5 years total.
Ready to vote? Please cast your vote.
Thank you.
Motion carries 7-0. Item 8.4, remove from the table and consider review and approval of the downtown art project, the downtown green space, and the funding request of $30,000.
I move to remove from the table.
A motion by Ben to remove from the table,
Second.
second by Tammy. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Romy, Adam?
Hi.
You have the floor.
We'll jump right in then. This thing seems to be just rolling along. So I didn't mention this before, but I once had a professor who defined architecture as inhabitable sculpture, which is an interesting case here in this particular element that we're designing. As both an artist and an architect, I've looked at this project from 2 different sides. And one side of that is it beautiful? Is it an experience? Is it for everybody? The other side, so that would be the artist side. The other side of me is also looking at, does it fit? Is it right? Is it doing something positive for the community? And so we've looked through your strategic initiative, the 2015 document, Envision Enid or Enid Envision. I'm not sure which. I've heard it both ways. Is this enhancing the downtown retail environment? Yes, I think it will. I think it'll draw people down to there. Is this strategic infill in your city? I believe it is. I think actually the document proposes public art in this location. Will this promote tourism? I believe it will. Showcase downtown as the civic heart of the community. Certainly it will do that. Bringing people to your downtown area is important. It's important for businesses. It's important for you. Will this help establish downtown as a hub for recreation and amenities? Yes. We pulled a couple pages from your, again, from the document, which is pretty thorough. We feel that despite the document lays out that public art is something that could be added to the green space proposed in there. We've placed public art in that location. I think over time, we hope that this becomes something that really helps develop that civic spine idea. I think it will. I pause because so many things about this seem positive for your community, and I hope to see it grow and develop into something really special. I hope that this is able to come to fruition for all of you. I'm done. I'm going to be done. I don't feel like there's much else to say. Do you have anything, Remy? Okay.
I'm choosing like a Penn and Teller moment here where he does all the talking and I just stand here and smile.
Well, you have talked about it a lot so far.
If there are more questions by any of you, I'd love to address those. This has been thought through from a lot of different perspectives. I think all of you are aware of that. We'd really like to give this to you.
As a representative of the public, I have about 8 questions.
Right.
And I have one personal question of my own, which would be the 9th one.
Okay.
Starting with the first question. Question I was asked, if we were to offer you this project 5 years from now, would you be willing to do it then?
Would we do this project 5 years from now?
From now.
Well, it's a little bit of a confusing question, but I don't know where I'll be or what I'll be doing in 5 years. Is that what you're projecting into the future?
I'm just asking you a question
Okay.
from people in the community who have called me. But I have one question, which is the last one.
Okay.
But 8 of them were from the
Okay.
community.
Well, I would be happy to do a project 5 years from now in Enid as well.
So that's yes?
I think what his question is, would you delay it 5 years?
No. I would love to do
that what
this
you're
project, and in
Yeah.
5 years, I'd love to do another one for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so this project, that's no. Okay. All right. Second question. What is your plan to maintain and operate this art project?
A portion of the funding for the project is being set aside for maintenance. The maintenance cost on the project itself will be so extremely minimal, I don't believe we're going to have much of a problem with that, and we'll work with the city to address what maintenance needs there are.
So is there a plan already?
Yes, there's plans and funding in place for maintenance on the piece.
Okay. Question number 3. Will this public art project be open at all times?
Yes. I can't see why not. Unless the city chooses to close it, yes.
Okay. Question number 4. Who is going to make sure that the public will be safe at all times if this art exhibit is open at all times?
I can answer that one, Commissioner. Our police department, right, Chief? There you go.
Okay. Question number 5. Do you have a projection for the amount of revenue it will generate?
Interesting. A report was recently put out on the economic impact of public art in Oklahoma. I'd be happy to refer anybody to the report. Was it Oklahomans for the Arts?
It was.
So if you look up Oklahomans for the Arts online, you'll come across this economic impact report. And that projects, that basically says what public art and what the arts have done for communities so far. It's not really a projection so much, but it certainly can tell you where things are probably going.
Can I also say something about it? Kelly Thompkins actually did some studies on that. Kelly Thompkins, who's the project coordinator for Main Street Enid, and she did the
She came in late.
standards of what she felt this particular project would bring to Enid. Sadly, I can't believe the number she said, but it really was a comprehensive number that would actually say, yes, this is a benefit to the city of Enid. And I think she has it on her Facebook page.
It's right back there.
And there she is. And you can answer it, can't you? I didn't see you, Kelly, yes. Is it okay?
You can ask it.
Is it okay for Kelly to
Yeah, come
answer?
on up to the microphone, please.
Kelly, please speak into the microphone.
Thank you. Kelly Thompkins, 1110 Ramona Drive. Just the number of people who attend events at the CNB Center and the ballpark alone. This doesn't count the employees downtown. This doesn't count every other everyday traffic. That doesn't count all of the other people to Leonardo's or any other event downtown. Just those 2 buildings alone, which means they will walk within 1 block of this project. If 1% of those people take a photo and post it on social media, which is what people do, that each one of those posts, absolute minimum worth $5 each. And that is actually a low, laughable amount, but I'm going with that so you might believe me. And that is based on what people pay per click for ads, and also take into consideration when someone posts something like this on social media, it is looked at as a friend recommendation, which is believed at about 80%, where advertising is believed at about 14%. So you're taking something that is worth far more than $5, but let's just go with $5, and 1% of those 300,000 people who go just into those 2 buildings within 1 block of this project is absolute minimum $15,000 a year in free advertising for our downtown and our community. That's per year, at least 15,000, and that is a very, very low amount of what this will bring. And that's just in the advertising return on investment. There are other ways to look at this. That's just one way to look at it. I also look at it as a chance of our kids and our grandkids might have the chance. It's another piece to wanting them to return to our community. I know that's not dollars immediate, but that's one of the things that we always ask. Sorry, I went beyond that answer, but to me, that's another issue of the return on this project.
And they're
Any
likely to
questions?
get hungry and maybe find a place to eat. That's downtown.
Yes, like I said, just the social media posting alone is worth bare minimum $15,000 a year. That doesn't even account for everything else it'll bring because of our 10 restaurants downtown and the shopping, and those are independent restaurants and stores, which means people who shop and eat there, more of that money stays in our community. It means more than if they shop at a chain. So it's so much even more than that, but the bare minimum is quite a return.
Everyone, does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you.
I would actually like to add, though, for the public record, a couple of things that I know about the Oklahomans for the Arts report. When the report was issued in June, they held a press conference in Tulsa at which Maynard, I'm having a hard time with that word, Mayor Bynum, announced that the tax revenue from arts and cultural events in the city of Tulsa, not including public art, at a very conservative measure, pays for 120 police officers and their benefits. So there is an economic return on arts and culture. It is estimated that for public dollar investment in the arts, there's a 10-time return in tax revenue.
Thank you. Next, you have a couple more.
Questions. Number 6, what if individuals that have nowhere to stay find this a place or a haven to sleep in? How will we be able to maintain it and keep from allowing it to get vandalized or, torn up or destroyed? Say someone that doesn't have anywhere to live and it's cold outside and they need a place to go in internally. How will we be able to monitor that and be able to prevent vandalization and the waste of our tax dollars in the future if this is passed tonight?
Why do you assume that the homeless are vandals?
Wait just a minute,
I'm sorry, I'm just irritated.
You don't have it? David, you don't have the floor, I'm sorry.
I didn't call the homeless vandals. I didn't even use the word homeless. I said someone that didn't have a place to stay or live, which is an individual that's homeless, but I'm not calling them vandals. It can be children going in there vandalizing. It can be anyone.
We have the chief police here, and I think we need his answer.
Team patrols.
Commissioner, I think that burden would probably fall on us, as it does all across town. And hopefully in the near future, we'll have probably, as we get more personnel, have a bigger presence downtown, in the downtown area, than what we do now.
Thank you, Chief. And these questions aren't mine. These are from individuals that live in Enid.
You're doing great.
My question is the last one.
I think those are fair questions, and that would have been my answer for the record.
That's the chief of police.
I know, I totally would have said the same thing. Thank you, police.
Good answer.
Moving forward, question number 7. Are you going to put up cameras, surveillance cameras?
No.
Question number 8. Oh, I'm sorry, Roman.
I think if the city of Enid decided that they wanted to have surveillance cameras, as they would on any city property, we would not be opposed to that, but that is not our intention, to surveil the people enjoying the art.
So no.
Basically, no.
It's no.
All right. Question number 8. Who is going to pay for the lights when they go out? Stars that you want in place? Who's going to pay for those when they go out?
I'd be happy to buy you another string, but I doubt that that's going to happen. One, they're very inexpensive. Two, the lifespan on the LEDs will far exceed the expectations of what a regular light bulb is. As far as the cost of replacing an entire string in 30 years, that'll be worked into the city's budget on maintenance.
But do they have a warranty, Adam?
Yes, they have a 10-year warranty.
No,
So
they
if
have
it-
a lifetime warranty.
So if anything goes wrong, if one just burns out
Sure.
due to, that it'll be covered by warranty?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. My last question, which is my question. Ms. Owens, I had asked you about the title and the message that you were sending as an artist to the city of Enid. And also I asked you about the spirituality of it. We both spoke and you acknowledged the fact that it has a spiritual significance. And being able to go in and, speak or sit or meditate or however it is that you do it to make connection with those that are your loved ones. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. What I want to know is, in that, is there a greater message of any sort, spiritually wise, that one can encounter? And if there is, how can that happen? That's my question.
So just in terms of clarification, are you asking if there is a overt religious implication here?
I'm just asking, as far as, based on the statement that you have made, your reply to me, what are the possibilities? We have churches. We have spirituality in churches. Yes. We make spiritual connection with God. I just want to make this as clear as possible to the public, because people wonder, So I believe we should be open and we should be honest. My life and the way I live it and who I choose to serve, that's me. But when we're dealing with art, you see where I'm going? When we're dealing with art, it brings up a possibility and a possible red flag. When we deal with spirituality on the basis of having something projected in a municipal piece of property or land.
Okay.
See where I'm getting?
Okay, I do. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing it to that, because I was really struggling with what the what it was you were exactly asking. So, people commune with their own belief system in many ways. Some people find it in church, some people find it in nature, some people find it in their living room, some people find it at the dinner table.
Yes.
And I feel strongly in that. How people find fellowship, how people relate with their loved ones or with God or whatever higher power it is that any single person believes in, is their own personal private business. And there is no overt religious implications to this. This can meet people where they are. If it meets an individual in a spiritual way that moves them within their own religious beliefs, then I'm so happy for them. If it moves people in a scientific way that inspires them to think about the Big Bang and how we are all formed, I reward that in ways that, like psychic energy going into the universe, because that's among my own belief system.
Okay.
It is not a religious structure. It definitely adheres to separation of church and state. It is not endorsed by any religious belief, whether organized or otherwise.
Okay, and my question to that, following up on that, if one was to use that in that regard, a place of meditation, would you all have an
Absolutely not.
objection to that, or would you allow that and be
great.
Yeah,
in agreement with it?
I would love to see people find a place of solace and meditation in this. I would love to see people do yoga in this. I would love for people to get married in this. I would love for people to have whatever kind of sacred moment they want to, as long as it adheres to what is legal within the city of Enid.
Okay.
A friend of mine would say often, if you take everything, that microphone, the signs up here, all of us, our ties, plants, trees, animals, insects, if you take it all of it, the planets, all of it, and you add it up, you get one. There's one universe. And there's the spirituality in it for me. It's a beautiful thing about all of us together.
You all have answered a lot of people's questions. I thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all of my questions.
Awesome.
You're allowed to ask more if you think of them.
Oh, I'm done.
We can keep discussing. I know we have a lot of people signed up, but just for the sake of process, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve the project and funding request, both.
We have a motion by Ben and a second by Tammy, and we have a slew of people signed up to speak. First one,
Should get out of the way.
Lewis Blackburn. Lewis?
Hey.
Lewis, had you signed up to speak on the art project?
I have signed up for 3.
Okay. Need your name and your address?
I'm Lewis Blackburn, and live here in Enid, been here 30 years this year. I am a Christian, and what we're seeing right there does not look like anything I know that God made. It's something man's made, and I don't know what it represents. If I want to look at the stars, I'll go out on a dark night and look up at the universe. I don't go in a wire cage and look at it. And this does not represent me as a Christian, and that's what I got to say about it.
Thank you. Next person is Clayton Stevix. I won't let you pronounce your name and your address, please.
Yes, sir.
I think we need to limit each response to 3 minutes. We have a huge list, and I didn't say that to Lewis, but I knew he would be short.
Sure. My name's Clayton Stevix, 1020 Coventry Road here in Enid. I am, just to be up front and honest, I am a pastor in the community at Hallmark Baptist Church. And I would like to first start by saying I understand and I'm also aware that we do have a budget for this that has been set aside, so therefore my concern is not primarily the issue of money. Okay, I would also like to say I am for art being produced and brought to Enid. Art has been one of those things that has defined cultures for centuries, okay? I'm not against art, so I want to make that clear. Yet my fear is this: it is more of a religious construct than it is art. First, the name of the project is, well, we know, under her wings was the universe. Under whose wings? Whose her wings? That's religious, okay? I am aware that all artists and their projects will name their projects. I understand that. I'm aware of that. I have an uncle who is an artist. He's a very good artist, as a matter of fact. And every project he makes or creates, greatly talented as they are, he gives a name to. I'm aware of that. But namely, the artist herself said, and I quote, "The evolution of this was the idea of the universe and our universal connection of the stars, and how we look to the stars to different ways. We look to the stars for the heavens. We look to the stars to make wishes. We look to the stars to remember, regardless of our distance from each other, that we look at the same stars. This is a connective point that has transcended time. I mean, it's just something. As long as we've been using stars for navigation, we've been using stars in that way. And when I think about, for me as an artist, when I think about the universe and the creation of the universe and everything that is encompassed in that, it becomes, here it is, a quite spiritual experience for me. And I think in talking through the process with Adam from the beginning, and I kept thinking that I would like to present it as a micro-universe, an artistically interpreted universe that inspires that all of what the stars can be to so many people and on different levels. And she goes on to talk about Councilman Norwood's father, and maybe that's how you're connected. She gets connected to her mother, so on and so forth. But here's where it even gets more religious. She then proceeds to refer to the place as a gathering place. She compares it to a church. Okay, when we stand upon, again, I know separation of church and state and things of that nature, which is a whole other subject. But in this realm of things, and also she says we already have versions of gathering place. But she says this exact quote: "This is just presenting something that has a little more aesthetic magic." May I draw your attention? Penn State University. Penn State University, a book that they wrote, or that some of their scholars wrote, Prayer, Magic, and the Stars in the Ancient and Late Antique World. And what it says about ancient religions. This is what Penn State University says. In the religious system of ancient Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Mediterranean, gods and demigods were neither abstract nor distant, but communicated with mankind through signs and active intervention. Men and women were thus eager to interpret, appeal to, and even control the gods and their agents. Now, when you say under her wings is the universe, I believe the universe is exactly that. Uni, a single spoken statement. Verse, a spoken statement. Uni is what? Single, one. Spoken statement. I believe the Bible. Let there be light. A single spoken statement created the universe. But
please wrap up your comment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will complete with this, and I'm sorry. But it says, this is it, okay. My worry is this, exactly this. This is paganism at its core. Paganism is religious, basically polytheistic, and that your God can be anything you deem it as your personal God. You can determine to be a pagan. That is your choice. I cannot stop you. But your religion cannot be and should not be published by taxpayers' dollars to construct a place where you can get connected to the universe and then call it art. Do not hide behind the guise of art. Call it a gathering place to connect to art as a religious center. Yes, I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. I believe that he is the salvation of mankind, but I would not ask this council for taxpayers' dollars to construct myself a gathering place for our church and call it art.
Thank you.
With those final thoughts, I'll close with those final thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next person, David Ezel.
I know.
Need your name and address, please.
I'm David Ezel. I live at 1722 East Maple. I'm baffled by that experience.
You've got
I'm
3
sorry.
minutes, David.
Yeah, I know. This is a piece of art. It's a place where I hope I can go, where I can sit, where I can think about my life, where I can think about my family, where I can think about why I'm glad that my family has come back to Enid. One of the things that was most important to me was making a home in a place where my family would like to return. I am so pleased that my son has returned. I want this to be a community that is open. I want this to be a community that is home to many different ideas, many different beliefs. I sincerely hope that this will be viewed as a piece of art, that this will be viewed as a place where we can come and think and commune with our own thoughts. I don't know how this suddenly got turned into a fundamentalist Christian battle for the soul of the city. I hope that's not really what it is. I hope that that's a minority speaking. I'm floored by that. I apologize. This is, to me, part of what art is, that we need to support public art. We have a budget for public art. There's not another art project that is vying for this funding. This is a project which has received huge amounts of financial support, public support from this community. It seems to me to be pretty much a no-brainer that this council should proceed with not only approval of the location of the project, but also funding from the city's public art fund. I really don't know what else to say, Mayor. I'm
Thank you.
amazed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tim Justice? Is it Justice? Need your name and address, please.
My name's Tim Justice, and I currently live at 16, I live in Holbert, Oklahoma, just outside of Tahlequah. I just want to speak a little bit about, I grew up in Enid. I come back every once in a while for concerts at the CNB Center, and I think you're doing a marvelous job with that, and very proud of that. Very proud to see what you are doing in downtown Enid. And I think this is the next phase, I really do. Let me tell you a little bit about growing up in Enid for me. I went and I remember, sometimes we're good, sometimes not so good. When the times were not so good, I've had a little grassy spot by Boggy Creek where I used to sit and I'd go and I'd lay back and I'd look up at the stars, and this is dating me a little bit, but I had my boombox out and I'd play a couple of favorite songs and just listen to them and just enjoy the moment under the stars. And I realize that people feel the need to protect something that they feel is sacred in the city, and I get that, I understand that. But I don't see this as meaning anything more to any individual. What it means to Romy does not have to be what it means to you or any one of us. And so I would really encourage you to think, and when we're talking about the under her wings, well, the bird shelters the children under her wings. It's a metaphor. It's not necessarily a spiritual construct. And it's the female bird that does the sheltering. As for the fittingness of the art in the city, anybody who doesn't see how a bird's wing could do that hasn't ever sat and looked at a hawk floating through the sky, which of course made it into our state song. It's very much a part of Oklahoma and very much a part of Oklahoma's tradition. And I believe that Romy will build something that will be, and Romy and Adam, sorry Adam, not meaning to leave you out there, we'll be building something that will be very meaningful for the city of Enid and will bring people from around the area. And I thank you for giving me time to speak to this.
Thank you. Next person signed up is Carol Jarrett. Need your name and address.
Hi, Carol Jarrett, 2501 Wildwood Drive. I want to thank you for hearing me speak today. I would also like to clarify that I am speaking for myself and not on my mom's behalf. I am Carol Jarrett, as stated before, a 16-year-old who will be a junior in Enid High School this year. For teenagers like me, we are swarmed with things to do on a daily basis. To reconnect ourselves with our mental status and the world, some of us prefer to be alone or with others. This piece of artwork allows us that leisure. We can gather with friends or work on homework in nature. And people are always saying how we need to lessen the phone addiction, which is kind of ironic that I'm using my phone right now. But this is a step toward it. By implementing Under Her Wing Was the Universe in the city, my generation connects closer to nature and to family and friends. And lastly, I am an artist, and as is half of the teenagers in my high school. When I say artist, I'm not just referring it to drawing and painting, but I am also referring it to music, theater, etc. My generation is struggling to be creative in a world where creativity is being harmed through budget cuts and lack of education. The piece of art that I am advocating shows that there is hope for creativity in the world. And overall, isn't that the message that we're trying to send? There is hope in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Next person signed up is Donna Rogers.
Donna Rogers, 3602 Willow Lake Lane. We all need to take a deep breath. Let's bring it down just a little bit,
Donna,
okay?
pull that mic down a little, please.
Okay?
There you go.
Let's all take it down just a little bit, okay? Deep breath, happy thoughts. like I've told you once before, probably personally more than once, I'm an old teacher. English, poetry, and a big believer in the arts. I've supported arts in this town almost since I moved here, almost 40 years ago. Poetry and art are to inspire each one of you individually. Whatever you find in a poem that makes you think, makes you feel, inspires you to do something, is what poetry is about. And any time an artist presents something, don't ask them, what's that supposed to be? When a child draws something for you, and they bring it up and give it to you, don't say, what's that? You're there to validate who they are. It can be the most hideous thing you've ever seen. But you say to the child, you did this? That is really a piece of art. Whatever makes them feel like they did something. If you want to see something bad in a piece of art, remember where it generates from. If you want to hear something bad in a piece of poetry, question why you heard it that way. I guess I just want to thank you. You've done a great thing in this community. I know all the things I can go touch you've done. But this discussion alone has awakened a part of Enid that I was beginning to wonder if it existed. And that is strong feelings about art and what it makes you feel. I also grew up in a political world. Father, husband, you name him. Grandfather, great-grandfather was a sheriff. But anyway, I know the politics you face every day, and I couldn't be more grateful that it's you and not me. Every time I see that someone has filed for office, I cheer. I want to find out more about you. And if I can do anything ever to help you win, I will. That's what art can inspire in all of us. That's what doing for our young people who come back to Enid can do for us. You're great Americans. You're even greater people from Enid. I appreciate your deep thoughts, your questions and answers. But more than that, I appreciate the fact that you knew this was coming. And you came to work anyway. That's what I used to have to tell teachers. You knew this was coming, and you showed up. I certainly hope you heard the right voices. You felt the right things. I'm still a great believer in this project.
Thank you. Our next person is Steve Meyer.
Mayor and Commissioners, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to speak to you guys. Some of y'all know me. I am a pastor here at Gospel Light Baptist Church. I am also a citizen here at 131 South McKinley here in Enid. There's a lot of things to talk about. Last meeting, this was tried to be pushed through, and I appreciate that it was tabled and some consensus to the public was given.
I will tell you, we pray for every one of you guys sitting up here at our church. We pray for God to give you the wisdom that you need to make these decisions. And the bottom line here is financial. I respectfully, and I do say respectfully, disagree with our art teacher, our English teacher. I have a lot of respect for English teachers. But art is beauty is in the eye of the beholder. We could talk about $30,000 being reassigned to a different place in the budget. You're going to do that, I believe, tonight, or was going to, or something. $30,000 goes a long way toward teachers' salaries.
Let him speak.
$75,000 would go a lot longer. And I don't know why the city of Enid has to be involved in art. My second thing is this. A 10-year lifespan was what this was supposedly given whenever it was talked about. $300,000 being put into an art project that's going to last 10 years is pretty interesting. But I would say this, more than anything else, is this. I'm a Christian. And I'm a Christian, and what makes me a Christian is that I follow Jesus Christ. And Christ said he came into this world to save sinners. He died on a cross for my sins, and that's the reason why I follow him. The reason why we needed somebody to die for our sins is because sin is breaking God's law, and this was what the law said. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that the Lord spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire, lest ye corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air, the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth, and lest thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the host of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which the Lord thy God hath divided unto all nations under the whole heaven. Now, I have a problem with under her wings is the universe, because it's not under her wings, it's under his wings. God is the one who made this universe. Evolution is outdated science now. All you got to do is study a little bit of the DNA code, and it is totally farce. All it takes is for someone to look at this, and I walked in here not for sure this was a spiritual project until Mr. Norwood's questions to our artist. And listen, I am for her being able to believe what she wants to believe. But I am going to say this. That's the inspiration for this project. And more than anything else, I'm concerned we're going to vote to put $30,000 into a project that I just read you goes against God. I am a preacher. It's my job to say something. $30,000, I can talk about the money, we can talk about the teacher salaries, we can talk about the potholes, we can talk about sidewalks, we can talk about a million different things. All kinds of things can go on. And I understand this is a progressive, visionary type of a thing. And what I would ask is this. How is a gray skin on the side of a big, huge metal case going to somehow enhance downtown? Because it's not the outside. From what I understand, that's what everybody's looking at. I don't understand how that works. As a preacher,
Steve,
this is not Enid.
Wrap it up.
Okay, I'll say this. This is not Enid. Most of the people in this town are Christian people. If this art project is found to have its roots in New Age spiritism, so forth and so on, then it's a religious project. And this name leads me to believe that the project has its foundation in the Big Bang, evolution, etc., which I, as a preacher, will say is wrong. Thank you very much.
Our next person. Our next person signed up is Bishop Terrence Haynes. Need your name and your address, please.
I am Bishop Terrence Haynes, 2225 Fountain Lake. I want talk about the her because they've already talked about that. What I do want to address is the fact that we're arguing art. No one has a question about art. This is not about art. All of us, most of us, any of us like art. That's not the question. But I think like the gentleman that was here that preceded me, when we talk about money, we talk about police presence, we talk about all of those things. We had a conversation even with the police about Southern Heights. Where's the presence there? Where is the ability to go in and converse with young people and bring them in? When we talk about money, when Booker T. Washington, who my 8-year-old son goes every summer over there to learn social skills, all of those things to continue to enhance him educationally and those type of things, where is those funds at during that time for those type of projects that are for our young people? When we're talking about the elderly, when we're talking about things that's happening, where are those monies then? Those are the things that we're talking about. I came out of Dallas. I've been in the military, like Colonel here, and I've been all over the world, seen art all over the place. But when we talk about the names of art, there's not an underscore of things that's there or something that we can interpret from that. And that's what we're arguing, is that. We talk about the difference between Tulsa and Enid. There's a lot more tourism there. There's a lot more things there that draws people. Dallas, there's a lot more things there. Oklahoma City, there's a lot more things there that draw people. And I'm not knocking some symbol of something to try to draw people into the city. What I am saying is there wisdom in it? That's what I'm saying. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Christopher Sneed. Need your name and address, please.
Christopher Sneed, 2514 Heritage Trail. Mayor, commissioners, staff, most of you know me, or at least the top of my head from when I used to work back there. So it's a pleasure to be this close to you. My initial, what I was writing down, I'm going to say drastically changed because the argument is not what I thought it was. And I hope that the people that I respect that have spoken here today won't be disappointed in what I have to say. But I'm going to say it anyway. My parents were Christian. They raised me to be Christian. I went to church every Sunday. I had one lapse after they died where I did not go to church, and this was when I was a teenager, and I struggled. And at some point, I heard a phrase that brought me back to my religious beliefs, that put me in a place. And it was from a musical, not a Christian musical. It was from Les Mis. And the phrase was, to see another person is to love another person is to see the face of God. Now, I did not put my faith and my belief in that musical, but it drew my attention back to my own spirituality because of the interpretation I had of that line in that musical that other people may not see as Christian. And my point in saying that is that my faith is strong enough that I could go in that building and still walk out believing in Jesus. I take my own interpretation when I go in there, just the same as people go into church and don't always go for the right reasons. They'll walk in that building and they're going for pretenses, they're going for, because their family's going, they're going because they don't want to be judged. And I feel like the same could be in reverse. So I'm not sure why we're discussing our spiritual beliefs behind this, because my faith is not built on her interpretation of what she calls this art project. My concern for the art project, my wish for this art project is that it will do what other art projects have done in Chicago with the Bean, which, forgive me, no one knows. I can almost guarantee you that 80% of the people in here have no idea what the Bean in Chicago is called, what it represents, but almost everyone that goes to Chicago stops in to see that structure. And it's this weird bean-shaped thing. So you don't have to understand it. you have to go and enjoy it. And you don't walk away from the bean wondering whether or not your belief or your faith has changed. So I hope that the city will look at this and what it can do for the economy and what it can do for the social structure of the city. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. That was the last person signed up to speak.
Can I say one more thing before because I know what comes next, Ben. I see you chomping at the bit.
You have the floor.
I want to thank, and I'm sure the sentiment is for everybody on this council, the mayor. I want to thank everybody who sent an email, made a phone call, pulled me down in the parking lot. This project has stirred up an interest that in my several months that I've been on the council, I haven't seen from this community on any other subject. That alone is progress, because this is how representative government works. This is how our government is supposed to work. It only works when you, the people, are involved. You can't just elect people like us to sit on a panel and then let it go on cruise control, because that's how you end up with a community that you don't recognize anymore. So I thank every last one of you who took 5 minutes, 10 minutes, some of y'all an hour with talking to me on the phone. No joke, I came home one day and my answer machine was full. And so I appreciate everyone. I tried to respond to all of them. I know I didn't get all of them, but I appreciate each and every one of you. And our community is better because of the time investment and the actual care that went into each one of those messages and the time in which you spent in order to be able to do this. So thank you.
Also would like to say that many of you have told me today is going to be a hard day. It's going to be hard. And I had to ask some hard questions. And I do believe that as a panel and as my constituents, we've done our job. We're getting ready to vote. But if you're not willing to stand up for something, what's the use of living? What's the use of living? We all have to live together until it's over. So irregardless of how we feel, we have to live together. You might like red, I might like blue. You might like orange, I might like yellow. But we all have to live together. So irregardless to what we feel, we're yet gonna have to live together. And at first, earlier this morning, I felt like, man, what did I do? But you know what? God put me here. I'm here, and I'm gonna stand, irregardless. And if you don't like me, guess what? I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Anyone else? Tammy?
This has been an incredibly emotional subject. This has been one of the most well-attended city council meetings in my 6 years here, which I am very happy that whether you agree with me or not, that you're here and that you took time to participate in your city government. And I honestly wish you would do this every 2 weeks, because a more informed citizenry is better for our community all the way around. And I've preached that from the beginning, and I catch a lot of flack for saying I think people need to be informed about what happens in their government, and I truly believe that. So I do appreciate everybody taking time to get educated at least a little bit about this project. In that regard, however, as emotional as this has been, there have been a lot of facts that have been overlooked that I think that we do need to address a little bit. As far as the budget goes and the money goes, we have an annual budget, then that's our job. Our biggest job as a city council is to determine how the city budget works. This ordinance has been in place for 4 years. That's called the Art in Public Places Ordinance. It was created about 4 years ago, or adopted by our city about 4 years ago. It gives people the opportunity to come to us with art projects that they may want to do. And it also, there's another mechanism that allows us to commission art. one thing that I've learned through this process is that the general public doesn't know a lot about this ordinance. They don't know a lot about how it works. And so we, as the Public Art Commission that's part of the city, have a very big job of educating the public about that process. And I hope that we can, and we've talked about that a lot, about how we're gonna do that. And so I hope that that's one of the things that's born from all of this, is that we're gonna go out and try to educate our public about the public art that we already have and how we can get more of it here and how the mechanisms work through our ordinance. And with that said, the way the ordinance works is that we have capital improvement projects the city does every year, and which is a chunk of our budget, and then 1% of that budget can be put into the public art budget. So that, in any time you have a budget for the city, you have, like this year we have $4 million put aside for street repairs. So that $4 million has to be spent on street repairs. We have different money that is set aside for, say, the water treatment plant. That money has to be spent on water treatment plant. This money, this very tiny amount of money that was set aside for the Art and Public Places budget, has to be spent on art and public places. It can't be spent on potholes. It can't be given to schools. And another thing, the city budget is completely separate from the school system budget and the state budget. They're all in the county budget. The city, the county, the state, and the school system is 4 completely different forms of government and 4 different budgets. So as much as I think everybody in this room would love to give as much money as we possibly could to schools and send kids to give kids art supplies and things, that this money can't be spent for that. And I don't say any of that disparagingly. I'm just telling that is how the budget process works. We have to spend money on the things that we say we're going to spend the money on. And so I just want to make sure that everybody understands that, because I think there's a big misconception about how we can spend the money.
But you can go to their public meetings also.
Right,
The
all
school
of our
board,
public meetings.
they're just as much fun every time.
Let Tammy finish.
So I just think it's really important that becoming educated about how your government works, it's really important to understand some of those very basic things about how the budget works. And it's not something that that people just know. There's a lot of stuff that we all learn when we get into this job that we had no idea how it worked. And so it's been a learning process for all of us. But I just think it's really important that everybody know how the process actually works. And that if you have a project that you want to bring to the city, please do it, because we would love to see more public art in our town. And we are going to do a much better job, hopefully, of educating everybody about how this process works. Because like I said, it's been in place for 4 years. We've had a lot of people say, well, I didn't know about that, or I didn't get to do that. And I think it's just because people didn't understand or know about it very much, and that's a little bit our fault. So I hope that we can do a better job on that front. But, Ben, do you have something?
Let's vote. We've had a million meetings. I'm ready to roll whenever.
I know we ran
Whenever
for a long
Ron is.
time. Just a brief comment, if I may, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Going along with what Tammy was talking about there, when we decided a few years ago that we wanted to fund public art, my biggest concern is that I know that there's a big difference of opinion among people about what art is. And I was pretty sure that probably the first thing right out of the box would be something really strange. And that proved to be the case. And I knew that there would be a lot of people that would object to it, and I think most of those people have talked to me. But anyway, it's not the money that's approved for this, although I'm pretty sure if we wanted to, we could reallocate that money to something else. But it's the idea that I would like to have something that everybody recognized as art. I mean, to me, when you're talking about public art, when they look at whatever you place in a public location funded with taxpayer money, that you shouldn't have to explain to them what it was. And so that's my comment. I know this is, a lot of people consider this art, a lot of people consider this not to be art, and at some point we're going to have to decide, whether we like it or not, and it may turn out to be gorgeous. And I have a little bit of difficulty believing that we're going to have people pouring in here from surrounding states to look at this. But now, It may happen, but anyway, it's been promoted very thoroughly and completely, and I agree with Ben, it's time to vote.
Would you please reread the motion, please?
Commissioner Ezel made a motion to approve the downtown art project and
Is this printed?
seconded by Commissioner Wilson.
Mayor, did you have one other person that wanted to speak, and do we have to allow that to happen? I thought.
Anybody signed up?
Huh? Oh, I thought you had one more. I'm sorry.
If I do, hold up your hand.
They didn't sign up.
Did you sign up?
Yes, I did.
I'm sorry. What was your name?
Dr. Raymeyer?
You're right. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
You may mark that you had spoken and you have not. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Raymeyer. I live at 2325 Doubletree Lane. Greetings to the mayor, to my commissioner. I am a Christian, a preacher, and an artist, and some say an amateur art critic, but that's aside from it all. But I rise before you today as a citizen and as a voter and as a taxpayer, not as a Christian. My son has already made that statement as a Christian, and a couple other pastors and the bishop. The practice of our constitutional government has been to allow religious items to be placed upon public property, but what you're asking for is for us to pay for it. That's the difference. It is a religious item. Spirituality is religion of sorts. I know I practiced Zen Buddhism for many years before I became a Bible-believing Christian. I believe our tax money could be better spent in another area than for a religious item, spiritual item, than under her wings is the universe. The statement was made, as I understand it, that the artist is wanting to get in contact with her passed away mother. My condolences. No, is that not so?
No.
I thought I heard that on the interview on TV. But the point is you got your religion, I got mine. And I don't want to be a taxpayer that pays for your religion. So this concludes my statement.
Thank you.
Vote.
Hearing no further discussion, please cast your vote. Motion carries 4-3. Item 8.5.
Thank you.
We're going to move to 8.5. A resolution adopting the fiscal year 2017 annual action plan for the Community Development Block Grant. Second clear out.
Have an opinion.
Bishop Haynes might want to be interested.
Yeah.
I don't.
Couple days. A couple.
He might want to be, he might want to.
It's probably too emotional right now. Is that the motion?
Thank you for what you do.
Well, I mean, I don't know where it's on there.
I don't know at all. Honestly, I don't know.
You can certainly approach me. Good to see you.
We won't be able to.
I just think this would be something he would want to know about.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And like you say, you know, absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know if anybody was interested about that.
Dr. Taylor?
We'll talk about that too.
You drove it up some business. Tom, what do you tell him? Return to his seat?
I said I think he wants.
We
to
got
know
other
about this
important
today.
issues on the agenda.
They're gonna miss all these.
Gonna miss all the fun. I mean, well,
Keep going, man.
yeah.
They're gonna miss the good stuff.
The good stuff. You know, I think
Reverse the order on them, you'd have.
Hey, Dana, would you go ahead and pull up the CDBG presentation, please?
You're gonna get to hear me read part of this again.
Be in a class, huh?
'Cause I don't think any of you heard a word I said. Item 8.5. You're gonna get to hear it twice, Ben.
That's fine.
I know you're excited.
No,
about
no,
it.
take your time, man.
I know you're excited.
I'm good.
A resolution adopting the fiscal year 2017 annual action plan for the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG program, and budget for the July 2017 through June 2018 program year, and authorizing the mayor to submit to the plan to and authorizing the mayor to submit the plan to the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Stephanie?
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. We are going to go over the presentation and the numbers. The Section 108 loan is $167,235. Administration at 20%. The after-school program is maxed out at the 15%. Emergency repairs and barrier removal is $52,000, and the Don Haskins match is at $36,965 for our total allocation of $394,152. The next time you will see me is August the 15th. That will be to approve the organization for the after-school program. We will.
Stephanie, just to clarify, on the 15th, we'll have the result of the RFP back too, right, to discuss that?
Yes, we'll have that back on August the 1st, and you guys will have the applications, and you'll have the scoring sheets and the instructions. So you will have that time frame to look over those applications and determine which programs you want to fund.
So what we had done was we asked members of the community that had existing after-school programs to submit bids so that we can allocate some of this money to their after-school programs. So in
Yes.
case everybody didn't understand what was going on with that.
Yes, and on the 15th, I believe they will come in to those that submit bids, and they will talk about the proposal. You'll be able to ask questions and discuss at that time and ultimately potentially make a decision if you're ready.
Is there a way to arrange a visitation to each one of those sites for the commission?
Yes.
In order to be able, for any of the, that would be interested to go through and do a walkthrough and see what the facilities and stuff look like?
Yes, on August the 1st, when we receive those applications, I can call and we can schedule site visits with those,
Fantastic.
each one. I'm kind of, I don't know who all's going to apply just yet. So,
Sure.
I mean, it could be 1 and it could be 15, so.
Thank you.
In the scoring system, it'll ask for the agency information, and you'll score with that information. I'm sorry, my brain's still in the art section. And then the project description, how it benefits, and then the priority, the organization capacity, and then leveraging funds, what other sources they bring to the table, how their budget works, and then all of the attachments, if they include all of the attachments that we request in the application. The scoring packet, like I was saying, is given to each member of the commission. And the packet includes the application from the organization. And then, like I said, the score sheet will be given, returned on August, and then you guys will return that to me. And I can organize that. Each one of you will score it individually, and then I'll bring it back as a group and show how it ranked as a group. And that'll be on the 15th. In the consolidated plan, there's priorities. That will also be listed in your packet. The high and medium priorities are listed here, and that'll also be listed in your packet. Most of those are public facilities improvement, youth centers are listed as medium priority. Parks and Recreation were listed as high. That's when we were on the, we were working on trying to do quality of life improvements 5 years ago. And then on the faith-based organizations, they're eligible, but they cannot use the funding to support worship or religious instruction. They cannot require you to do prayer or worship service or counseling services with their organization.
Is that exclusive to religious counseling or just counseling in general?
We would have to say counseling in general because we can't say for certain what you're saying in those private meetings, in those private counseling sessions.
So just so I can be clear, an organization that didn't have any religious affiliation would be able to have a counseling program, but a program that had a religious affiliation is not able to have a counseling program and be eligible?
You can, but you can't require it.
But you can't require the counseling?
Right.
Got it, okay.
Right. You can say, I can offer you this.
Sure.
Like Youth and Family Services into a school program. They can offer that, but they can't require a child to go to the counseling service once a week, or devotional services like YW or YMCA. They have like 15 minutes in the morning that you can go to devotional thing. If not, you can go kick a kickball in the gym.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You just have to be careful. We do fund faith-based organizations, and we have to be really fair about it. There's more information. I can send a short video about that to you guys.
Please, that other video was great too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the key word is the require. Like, they can't
Right.
require. Like, they can
Right.
offer counseling service, because I think everybody we talked to offered counseling
Counseling,
service.
exactly.
But they just can't be required.
Yes. And then with the public service, the rule, it can't be a reoccurring service. How we do it is it has to be either a new service or expanded service, and you have to prove that it's expanded. So if you're like adding a mentoring service onto an after-school program, then the next year you could be funded because you've added that program to it, or you've added a basketball program to it, or you've added something else. That's how you could continue to fund that particular organization, but you can't keep funding one that's the exact same.
Same function repeatedly.
Right.
Gotcha.
And that's all I've.
Bishop Haynes, I asked Jonathan to catch you because you had mentioned in your comments about after-school programs and spending money on some of those places. And I knew this was the next thing on the agenda, and I didn't know if you were aware of it, but we're hoping that we will be able to give about $60,000 to an after-school program, as well as enhancing the Don Haskins Park. So I just wanted you to know about that.
And Booker T was one of the ones who came and did a presentation earlier, so.
Do you need a motion?
No.
That's just
Yes, for the resolution, yes.
The resolution?
Motion to approve?
Second?
And that approval is item 8.5. Motion by Jonathan, second by George. Further discussion? Please cast your vote. Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 9, consent items.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Tammy to approve.
Second.
Second by Jonathan. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Item 10, we will now recess to convene as the Enid Municipal Authority. Item 11, all the trustees of the Enid Municipal Authority are in attendance at the regular meeting. Item 12, the Enid Municipal Authority regular meeting is now in session. Item 12.1, consider a resolution increasing the 2017-2018 fiscal financial plan for the Enid Municipal Authority in the amount of $215,737.84 for prior year encumbrances outstanding as of June 30, 2017.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ron, second by Jonathan. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Item 12.2, approval of claims in the amount of $110,284.58.
Motion to approve.
Motion by George.
Second.
Second by Jonathan. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Item 13, we will now adjourn to convene as the Enid Economic Development Authority. Item 14, all of the trustees of the Enid Economic Development Authority regular meeting are in attendance. Item 15, the Enid Economic Development Authority regular meeting is now in session. Item 15.1, consider a resolution increasing the 2017-2018 fiscal financial plan for the Enid Economic Development Authority in the amount of $12,500 for the prior year encumbrance outstanding as of June 30, 2017.
Motion to approve.
Motion by George.
Second.
Second by Ron. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Item 16, we will now adjourn to convene as the Enid Public Transportation Authority. Item 17, all trustees of the Enid Public Transportation Authority regular meeting are in attendance. Item 18, the Enid Public Transportation Authority regular meeting is now in session. Item 18.1, consider a resolution increasing the 2017-2018 fiscal financial plan for the Enid Public Transportation Authority in the amount of $4,200 for prior year encumbrances outstanding as of June 30, 2017.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Jonathan.
Second.
Second by Tammy. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Item 18.2, approval of claims in the amount of $2,638.67.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ben, second by Jonathan. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Item 19, we will now adjourn to reconvene as the Enid City Commission. Item 20, public comments. We have two people signed up. First one is Diane. Diane? I'll give you back your 5 minutes. Need your name and address, please.
I'm Diane Levesque, 1324 West Oak, and as I recall, my signature is below Byron Carr's. It's been brought to my attention that ETN cut him off, and it's your responsibility to have gavel-to-gavel broadcast of your city commission sessions. So, Mr. Mayor, given the fact that I am aware of the fact that he signed up before I did, I will relinquish this time. He can speak, and I will speak after that. All right?
Okay. Next one. Next one is time.
Brian Carr. I'm Brian Carr, 2604 East Randolph. You know, I know I'm tired of this. I know a lot of y'all are. It's putting a bad name for the city of Enid. You know, I have tried to settle this thing for the longest, but it's not getting nowhere. You know, at the last city council meeting, I said that I made all the statements, and I asked the board back there to cut me 5 copies of my speech so I can deliver them to the news media, the governor's office, and the attorney general. All of them know what's going on here, and I think it's going to create a problem where it's going to cost millions and millions of dollars in investigations. Gerald there, he don't want to work with me. Matter of fact, while I was speaking, the TV program shut off. And a lot of people called me and told me. And I know what's going on. He's doing everything he can to hide it. Instead of going in the room and selling this matter, he just keeps violating my constitutional rights. I'm not gonna go off. 10 years ago, I would just walked over here and knocked these freaking windows out. But I'm 58 years old now. I like being free. I like talking to my girlfriends, my daughters, my kids, and they just want to lock me up. But I got the DVD I wanted, and I'm finished to burn off 5 copies. And next week, I'm headed to Oklahoma City. I'm going to deliver them to every news media, and I'm going to go in and make an appointment with the governor and the attorney general. And I want them to make a phone call to you to settle this matter before it gets out of hand. You know, I didn't try talking with you and everything. And you know, it was public funds that came after me. So I don't know why you don't want to use public funds to take care and settle this matter. But on another note is, 6-7 months ago, some people called me and asked me would I be mayor of Southern Heights. And I decided, I thought about it. You know, the mayor, he doesn't interact with us. Southern Heights is the poorest community in Enid. And I decided I'm going to be Southern Heights mayor. And if you want to work with me, Mayor, I'll work with you. But just don't get in my way. I'm going to come to you. You're the councilman. I'm going to bring you some issues, and I'd like for you to talk with the city manager about them, and let's get it done. We're going to clean up Southern Heights. That's the place where we live, and we like our area clean, our streets clean. Instead of spending money for all this other stuff, spend some money over there, clean our streets. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Diane? I didn't hear what you said to sign off because I had a coughing spell. Repeat it, please.
All right, Diane Levesque, 1324 West Oak Avenue, and not only his regular viewers but mine brought to my attention that the coverage of the last city commission was not gavel to gavel, as is expected by public, because that is public access to government. And his show was on the other channel, the public access channel. Now, I'm aware of the charges leveled against this gentleman, and he is presumed innocent until proven guilty. And I posit this to you because it's also been brought to my attention that certain among you have, because of his presence here, have requested police escort. Here's the deal. Charges were filed June 28th of last year, and he hasn't committed neither murder nor mayhem between that time and the time he went to trial. His trial has been postponed twice, and to my knowledge, the judge has already de facto made a ruling that there is no probable cause to keep this person in custody, because there's no probable cause that he's going to cause either murder nor mayhem on his own recognizance. So actually, requesting police escort kind of makes you stupid. Just saying. But as for the art thing,
you need to be wrapping it up, please.
I will. The art thing, I'm just going to refer all preachers to the Gospel of Matthew, and that's the nativity scene where they are called wise men, but they are magi, from whence magic comes. Now, if the Bible calls the magi wise men, it would be wise to not call that under his wings, because when you talk about him and his wings, you're talking about an Assyrian idol. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 21. Consider convening into executive session pursuant to 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B1 to perform a performance review and discuss the salary and benefits of City Attorney Andrea Chisholm, and to reconvene into special section to take any necessary action.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ben, second by Jonathan. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0.
Okey-doke.
Well, thank God, another day.
Thank you for joining us for the Enid City Commission meeting. If you have any questions or comments, visit our website at enid.org.